Hey there. I recently got this Makita drill driver combo set, and I thought that I'd unbox it with you guys, and you can see what comes in the box with it at least. It's the 18 volt LXT brushless combo kit. I was looking at between Makita and Stanley were the big two, and then also Milwaukee was on my radar too. What it eventually came down to was A, the price, and B, how many other things Makita has in their battery powered line. I actually got this on a deal around Black Friday, and it came with a cordless router too. So not going to talk about that in this one, but part of the deal and part of why I bought it. So I'm going to bring you in close up, and we'll start taking a look at what's in here. So when looking at this, I thought it might be helpful to know where I'm coming from and what I have currently. The first drill that I got was from my dad, and it's a DeWalt of some sort. I'm not exactly sure what the model is, but I've had it for, I don't know, probably close to 10 years now. And it still works okay. You can see it gets used and abused pretty well. I'm at the tail end of a home renovation, so all of my tools have at least made it through that for about a year. The battery life has certainly diminished over the years. I mean, as expected as a battery-powered tool, I think. But the real thing is how heavy this is, and the fact that I don't have any other tools that use the same battery as it. So not having any other tools that use the same battery is really probably the biggest factor. It's just kind of inconvenient. The other tool that I'm currently using is this Porter cable impact driver. So when I started renovating my house, I bought one of those combo tool kits from Porter Cable. A lot of it had to do with price, and obviously, you know, you get what you pay for, unfortunately. The impact driver, the reciprocating saw, and the oscillating saw, and the orbital sander all held up pretty well. The circular saw, the jigsaw, and the drill did not. So if somebody was asking me if they should get a Porter Cable set, I'd say probably not. I've heard good things about like the Ryobi tool set as far as like DIY and some homeowner stuff. But Porter Cable just seems like it's in a goofy spot between DIY and having more serious use. I would have loved if the drill was still working, but after one fall off a 6-foot ladder, it didn't work anymore, which I thought was pretty soft. You know, off of a 6-foot ladder isn't anything that's incredibly unusual in my opinion. That's a pretty standard fall for a tool. So a little bit disappointed in this. The impact driver does pretty well. The only thing is it is so loud when the mechanism is actually working. I was using this impact driver to put in my cabinets and someone else's cabinets, and when you're working inside them, it's so loud that I would literally wear hearing protection, which I think is a little bit silly. I understand that it's in an enclosed area, but still, it just not thrilled about it. So with that being said, that's why we are where we are now, in a new Makita tool. So without further ado, so I did get this from Home Depot. They were having a pretty good Black Friday sale. I'll look up and put in the description if it's still going on at the time that I upload this. The tool, it was $150 for this combo set, and for an extra $100 you could get the router, which I picked up, which is normally around $2 or $250, I believe. So it ended up working out pretty well. A cordless router is certainly something that I wanted anyways, just for doing roundovers more than anything, just really convenient. So it looks like the first thing we've got here is the tool bag. I'm not a big fan of these because I feel like they never are the shape that you want, and there's always stuff getting lost in the bottom of them. But they work well for other things, like to having a small toolkit in your car, or keeping stuff when you're going camping. Works out pretty well for that. I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but this one actually has pouches in the side too, which that's pretty handy, especially for something like a drill, being able to put drill bits in, different stuff like that. Obviously the marketing material, and this is kind of what I meant about how much stuff is in the battery line. Having a house with a small backyard and front yard. Some of these battery powered lawn tools were really attractive, in addition to like the battery powered nailer and some other stuff like that. Some instructions that we inevitably won't read. And here's the good stuff that we came here for. So first I'll take out this drill. So let me grab the DeWalt. So just for a size comparison, it looks like the Makita is certainly a bit shorter. I know that the Makita batteries are pretty tall, so we'll get a different view of that later. Weight-wise, they're pretty similar. Makita's actually a little bit lighter, but yeah, overall, good first impression. Next, the impact driver. Again, the length of it is what is the first thing that really stands out to me. Let's see if I can get a good view here, maybe like that. You can see the difference in the size of the heads in terms of this direction, and I think that's pretty impressive. As for height-wise, they're pretty similar there. The Makita's a little bit shorter in that too. A nice thing about having a short impact driver is, like I said, with like installing cabinets, you can get into a lot smaller spaces, and it works out a little bit better. So overall, first impression is pretty good. And then we've got the charger, obviously. So take that out, and then it looks like the hooks for the drill and driver itself. I'll say that these are really nice to have when you're working on site, and you can have a tool pouch with the hand tools in it, but without a clip like this to hang on your belt, a drill gets really inconvenient. And I would throw a drill up there, right, with something like a screwdriver, in terms of if you're working on a home renovation project or something like that, like something that you really need. So much appreciated. So with that, let me readjust the camera and we'll take a little bit closer look at them. So I've got the relevant drills and drivers laid back out here, and just really to look at a size comparison more than anything. We'll start a little bit more with these impact drivers here. Another thing that I was just looking at was, so the Porter cable comes with a 20 volt battery. The Makita comes with an 18 volt battery. However, the Porter cable is a 3 amp hour and the Makita is a 4 amp hour. So if you were talking about which metric I really care about more, I would think that how long the drill is going to run for, given that it's still capable of doing the task. That's really what I would be concerned about. Again, it's a little bit shorter this way, which I think is advantageous. It may be a little bit shorter this way, however, that's pretty negligible in the grand scheme of things. And then as for the drills, the Makita drill is certainly a little bit taller than the DeWalt one, and I don't know how much that really matters. Usually the length that the space that you're getting into you're not crunched for space this way, you're crunched for space this way, at least with cabinets and a lot of the little home renovation projects that I've done. In terms of length, the Makita is a little bit shorter this way, which, like I said, is advantageous. Weight-wise, they're pretty similar. As for the impact driver is certainly lighter than the Porter cable. I know this is a really anecdotal comparison, but just what I have on hand. The other thing that I would mention is the rubber texture on the Makita drills seems a lot more tacky than the Porter cable and DeWalt, and I mean that in a good way, in the sense that it's not slick at all. I was actually just at my mother's house a few days ago fixing the gutter, and of course it was raining out, and whenever you're dealing with a gutter, there's inevitably water falling from above you. A real tacky surface that's easier to grip onto is advantageous in that. So I like that about these two. I think that my last thought here, just at the initial impressions, the Makita handle is actually a little bit thinner than these other two. So if you were one of these big lineman guys, I don't know, it might feel a little small for you. On the other hand, you might just be able to get a really good purchase on it. I'm just shy of 6 foot. I'm a pretty average sized guy, so I think it fits me really well. If you were 6'8" and trying to do home construction, I don't know that this would be the right one for you, but I don't know which one would be better either. So I hope this helps. I will definitely be using these in the near future with some projects that I have planned, and hopefully going to have more feedback for you then. If you have any questions, leave them below, and I look forward to answering them. Thanks.